Okay, how y'all doing? Six times the charm, I hope. I've had a lot of trouble trying to actually get a video to upload, or record, I should say, from various issues, but hopefully this works. Um, I wanted to talk about my, some things I've been doing, and the first thing is this, August, Car of the Month competition vehicle, and the theme of it was pirates. So you can see here, I didn't want to build a pirate ship on wheels like others did, and I mean that's valid, but I wanted to make it look more like it was a vehicle becoming a ship. So what you see here is what I'm kind of tentatively calling the frog or the bullfrog. Because it looks like, if you look from this angle, it kind of looks like a frog. In my vision, it does. At least with the head and everything, the front cab of this thing. It was made from a Matchbox NASA hauler and a 3D printed Sherman tank that I misprinted pretty badly. So it was printed a lot smaller than what it was supposed to. And so I cut the tank tracks off of it, flipped it over, and glued it to the NASA hauler, and then added these wood paneling, these popsicle sticks, and so everything still pretty well turned out pretty good, I think. Got 3D. I've been using my 3D printer to make a lot of this. So a lot of the pirate crew, these figures are all 3D printed by me. The tri-main ram is printed by me. The head piece here is on the prow is 3D printed by me. I didn't make the files, but I did make. I did find them on Thingiverse, but I did do the printing myself. But anyway, so Scarlet Ann heavy truck, turreted 125, heavy machine guns at the front, side, and rear. So I'm counting that as a turreted heavy machine gun, and the ram, and used a sewing thread to make the cabling and the holds from the telephone pole here to the front, and chains to hold the actual ram together, as well as on the bottom. You can see it's makes it look like it's reinforced all underneath of it, so it can take a beating. And you got the flagpole here, mast. I really wasn't sure if I was going to do a mast, but I decided to go ahead and do something similar. The cat image came off of the internet, and so I printed that out and Mod Podged it, so it would be able to be painted on without the colors running. And then I took a lighter and I burnt the edge of it, so it has a little bit of battle damage to it. And but anyway, so some of the cool things about this, like if you see here the pirate lady here at the back, the captain, the gunner, she was a D&D scale figure. I scaled down before I printed it, and she had a pipe, and the pipe printed out way too small and then just shattered and went missing. So the new pipe is actually a piece of the support of the 3D print. So, and I had a similar effect here with this figure, where this is technically a version of my persona. Because he's a cat guy. I'll zoom in here a little bit and see you can get a better look at it. And you see the big old cutlass, or what I think they call it. It might be called a Shashmir or a falchion. I could be wrong. Sword people probably know it better than I do. But you can see here, the reason I did, I put my persona in this build was because James Hall called out a bunch of diecast creators with his channel, and he had this thing where he superimposed himself over Boba Fett and the Mandalorian, and so all the other diecast creators were the stormtroopers that he was going through. And I think August is his birth month, and it's my birth month as well, so I decided to answer his challenge as personally as I could, and just showing you off a little bit more here of what I've done, the dualies and the side armor here. And I got treasure chest for the dropper weapon, and the cable for towing captured vehicles and stuff to base. But anyway, again, so this got this mountain lion guy here with the big ass sword to represent me, and the big thing here is, it kind of fits. I mean, as far as post-apocalyptic goes, you've got Hell Comes to Frogtown, you've got the kangaroo mutant people in Tank Girl. So, it's not out of the realm of fantasy of this kind of stuff to have anthropomorphic characters mixed in. It's not something I would do every day, but I wanted to have something that really stood out for the competition. And so yeah, you got all the door gunners, and so a lot of these figures were these window gunners, but they're cut off at the waist. So I actually took railway figures and cut them off at the legs, and then re-glued them here. So like this was a torso, and I kind of fixed it together. So I gave the figures legs again. Well, I hope that skipped there didn't. All right, you got this girl here with a feather cap, and of course, the figurehead here is it reminds me of a highway patrol guy, so I got him tied up to it good, And, so yeah, figured this was really kind of cool, and I hope I can actually win one of these. I've been trying so hard to win one of these competitions ever since I got third my first time out last year. So I really want to bring one of these home, something terrible, but. Got this one guy here. He's an NCR figure I was going to use for my Rutherford teams. But the reason I decided to add him to this bill was, Scarlet and Shanghai's other team's crew, or they kill haul them for audience votes. So he's been added to the crew, and so he's the newest crew member. So he doesn't have any of the pirate gear. And that's one of the things I wanted to do is make it in the spirit of the crew has the pirate stuff. Shanghai people have to earn their pirate LARPing stuff. So this guy here, he's earning it by taking this cable and this spear harpoon and getting ready to jump on another vehicle and start swashbuckling. While I figure my persona here is in a similar boat. Shanghaied in to help add muscle to the crew, and he's getting ready to jump aboard a ship, or not ship, but another car, and start slicing away with the big sword. Plus, it's got that whole 40K drive me closer. I want to hit it with my sword vibe, so. We got a golden skull here with a laurel on it. And definitely, pirates got to have some. I like having a lot of skulls for pirates. I think it kind of fits. So went with a lot of skull decals, and I think these are Night Lords. And but the actual vehicle, I figured the story behind it would be it's a in the Gaslands, Earth and Mars went to war, and Mars won. So this is a leftover Earth scout vehicle that was probably in some scrapyard somewhere, and Scarlet Ann found it and is driving it around. And every time it gets a bullet hole, they patch it with a plank of wood or damage or fire or whatever, and they're slowly turning it into a more ship on wheels look. And so that's why I was like, I didn't want it to be a ship on wheels, but I wanted it to look like it's becoming a ship on wheels. If that makes any sense. It probably don't, but anyway. So that is the August car of the month. And I realized I didn't do a video on this fella. This is the July one. This is the convertible challenge. And you can see here that this actually slides back and forth. And you can see here, I made these 3D brackets and 3D printer the mount. You can see it's a step to it. It's 3-layered step. So it actually fits under the lip of the cab. So it actually works as an actual retracting hardtop convertible. And you got the driver here. In both my car of the month competition vehicles, all the characters have green stuffed hair, so it looks like it's blowing in the wind. And so I was trying to really get that effect going with this. And then of course you got the dog, and any truck's got to have a dog. And that dog there is actually painted to look like my Rascal. So focus. There we go. This one was criticized though, and the criticism is justified. The yellow was kind of thick, and a lot of that has to do with I used that. I had to use a couple layers on it, and it was because it was primed black. And I always prime black because that's just what I have. And so yeah, it came out a little bit thicker than it probably should. But that's how it is. Yeah, I didn't do black lining. I do the shading with these two colors here. And these are pen ink, and it's actually airbrush stuff, but it's transparent, and I mix them together. And that's kind of creates the shading effect that you do get. So I was trying to go for more of a grungy brown than a straight up black, and try to make it more natural, but it is what it is. And of course, the back here, the Molotovs are off on scale, but that's what I had to work with. And so yeah, they're like 2-liter bottle Molotovs. And the jeans, are this nautical blue. And then I highlight them, and the highlight is heavy. But I probably should have put a wash of the blue and brought that down a bit. But this is definitely one of the builds I really enjoyed making, because in a way it's also the idea of it being a Dodge Power Wagon. It's a Ram with a Ram skull, Ram air intake. So it's the Ram. And it's called the Golden Ram. But yeah, I like this one. This one is definitely one I'm proud of, even if it didn't win. But well, that's how it is. And I've been doing some vehicles on my own. I was working on this one when I fell and broke my, well, I didn't break it, thankfully, but I did really mess up my wrist. This is the veterinarian. This is a Rusty's Bootleggers ambulance with tank tracks, ram, and armor. And you can see the veterinarian in the back. And you can tell he's a doctor because of the green smocks. I decided to do more of a storytelling with the paint job than with actual converting a lot. And you can see here he's got a pistol for when it's time to put down the poor fellas that just can't be saved. And, you know, a little bit of ye old mercy. And you got the trash cans full of medical equipment, Molotov cocktails, to set ablaze any infections, you know. But like you do in an apocalypse. So I got that one. I like this. This one's fun too. It's some sort of Matchbox Explorer vehicle. But then I got this one here is to be his teammate. And this is a big truck with a heavyweight trailer, wrecking ball, front mounted machine gun. Now this one I did try to do the black lining like the since James Hall and others did the criticism of it. Since there's such a well-defined panels to actually panel line, and so I try to make this look like an actual like redneck trailer with the NASCAR stuff, and the Humvee is made out of like 4 different Humvees because you got the gray Humvee that from the hood, a green military Humvee, an orange civilian one, a yellow racing one, and a tan military one. And so, it's kind of like, that's what I'm going to be calling this one is the patchwork. So, you got the driver and the gunner. The gunner is, it was originally, it's a punk 3D printed model. But I wanted to make it look more redneck. So, he has a mullet out of green stuff. I tried to go for the whole Joe Dirt kind of look, so he's also got a little bit of mustache and everything. But yeah, similar idea at least. And the wrecking ball itself is this 3D printed engine on chains. So it just comes by and just smacks people with the old V8. And you see a little more of the NASCAR stuff. And on the back here, you can see the two-headed bear of the California NCR from Fallout. And that was made by just taking a piece of paper and let's see here. You take a paper like this on your inkjet printer and take some Mod Podge, lay it down, then lay the image face down like this onto your Mod Podge, and then you let that dry, and the Mod Podge pulls the ink out of the paper into the image, and then you take a little bit of water and wet it down, and then you can just gently scrape the paper off, and it'll reveal the image. It doesn't work on dark colors very well. It's very faded. It's meant to look faded. It's the technique makes the image faded, and I wanted to do a faded image like that because on a lot of these trailer RV trailer things, you got the nature scenes of the eagles or the bears and cats and whatever. So I wanted to do that. And then I finished these. These 2 are my Maxine bikers, and these 2 are for highway patrol. You can kind of see that the same 3D printed figures kind of can work for any faction. For the sirens on these, I just cut off some Space Marine backpacks and painted it more military color. Space Marine logos make it look more authoritarian dudes. But tank track bikes and These are for Maxine. This was on this one here. The paint job is this. It's black, and then this stuff called dragonfly glaze. Gives it kind of a glary effect. But the green and the white on this guy, he kind of looks like a Power Ranger, so I've been kind of calling him the Sentai. But you know, you got the Eldar swords and the towel things on the side. Kind of make him look, gives him really a Japanese look, and that's why I kind of been calling him that. I don't have a name for this guy yet, but similar idea. Garishly, brightly colored, Maxine style. Pay attention to me, purple with a metallic pink armor and a red bike. I really don't know what to call him yet, but I really wanted it to be garish and clashing. Then I got these two. Now this one here came out of the Demolition Derby set, and I just added the light bar and the cannon and the crew inside. So, you know, didn't do much with the paint job itself, just kind of knocked it down with some dirt and scraped off the Hot Wheels logos. And, I mean, I'm calling this car Enforcer 96. And, cheap, easy. You don't have to have a lot of skill to make your Hot Wheels cars look post-apocalyptic. And this is this rust effect here. And out of all the paints I got from War Games Factory, this is the one I'm really the happiest with, because you can put down a little bit or you can put down a lot, and then as you layer it, the first layer for some reason turns out like this brownish color, and then if you put another layer on top of it, it's like a brighter orange and a brighter orange still. So you can kind of create like a puddle of a rust effect. So you can see here, you know, it's the same pot of paint. That's just, I don't know how they did that, but it's cool. And you got Enforcer's teammate, Rescue 89, armor, RAM, straight up business with this one. Highway Patrol. It's a lethal diesel. Again, didn't change much. Kept the paint job because it's perfect. Painted up the little bits and details of the thing to make it look like it's a police vehicle. And so it's got the lights and everything. It's got this infrared windows, you know. And I just picked out some of the details. You can see here. It's a shame these things don't have an interior, though. I wish they did. But so I got that one. And my other Highway Patrol vehicles are these two. And this one I straight up painted. It was a road utility vehicle that's now been adopted by the Highway Patrol. So again, the same kind of principle with the lethal diesel, just paint the little stuff that sticks up to make it look like lights. And I got a 3D printed door gunner guy here hanging out. And you got the 125, which is a good for Highway Patrol with Schadenfreude. So if you, or time extended, either way, if you cause somebody to wipe out, you know, you clear out all your hazards. If you pass a gate, you clear out all your hazards. So firing a tank gun isn't normally the detriment. So it's a good strategy with Highway Patrol to have one of these. I think Highway Patrol and Rutherford and Rusty's are the three that really shine using big guns. And then you got this fella here. I got because the guy that I bought it from sold it because he didn't have the wheels on it, and I just put some of these NASCAR Racing Champion wheels on. And this is a Punisher van. Didn't change the paint job again because why? I mean, it's perfect. It's blue. It's got a skull on it. I mean, I redid the lights and the door handles and the tail lights, but didn't change that. Did paint the interior though. All the interior's been painted. The figures are painted. So you got the driver. You got this door gunner. You got this guy monitoring the computers, which I imagine he's watching the bogies. You got a front minigun, ram, and the tail gun here. Because this was an open space, so I didn't want the idea of people being able to easily shoot in there and like kill my crew. You got the sliding door. So I like this one too. Again, simple. Didn't have to change paint jobs, and I really like that one. I am moving a little bit fast here, but I kind of wanted to share things. And I got these two. These two, I can't decide if I'm going to sell them on my Etsy store or I'm going to keep them. I'm going to talk a little bit more about them in the next episode, but this is a slime vehicle with the side ram, front ram, armor, and machine gun. But I made this in full intention of putting it on the store, and I fell in love with it as I put it together because I was just like, it's so obstinacious. It's the perfect little slime vehicle for hitting things. And then I got this thing here, ram, mortar, harpoon, or it could be an improvised sludge thrower with oil droppers. Kind of. It doesn't really have the armament for Cult of Inferno, but it's got the paint job for Cult of Inferno. So I was thinking it might be a great Idris vehicle, or just about doing anything really. It could be a good Maxine vehicle. But I liked the flame job I did. The flame job turned out really well. The demon imagery looks great. It's going to be hard to convince myself to part with this one in particular, if I do. But and of course, like I said, just to tease y'all a little bit, this is what's coming in the next episode. So this is what's going to be hitting the Etsy store soon. So yeah, my Etsy store is going to get an update here soon. So yay there. But yeah, y'all tell me, do y'all really want these, or can I keep them? Can I keep them, please? Anyway, thanks for sticking around for me. This is almost a 30-minute long video, so like, share, subscribe, and yeah, I'm glad to have y'all guys back into watching these videos. And hopefully I don't fall up the stairs anymore while carrying a cat. But so yeah. Be safe, take care, and goodbye.